Allow me now to introduce our keynote speaker for today's festivities, Dr. Francis J. Valloor. Dr. Valloor's biography is included in your program. Over the span of his career, Dr. Valloor has earned degrees in philosophy, religious studies, and journalism. He has written 6 books and learned a number of languages, including Latin, Greek, and Sanskrit. Along the way, in his early 20s, he tells me that he discovered psychology and today is a clinical psychologist with over 27 years of postdoctoral experience in psychotherapy training, supervision, and assessment. He is also an international speaker who has conducted workshops in India, Ireland, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Dr. Valloor obtained his doctoral degree in clinical psychology right here from Wright State University School of Professional Psychology in 1990. This includes an internship at the Milwaukee County Mental Health Complex in Wisconsin. Dr. Valloor also completed postdoctoral education in psychopharmacology. After completing his clinical training, Dr. Valloor returned to India and succeeded his friend and mentor, Anthony DeMello, as the director of the Sanhana Institute of Psychology and Spirituality. He provided training and supervision of students who attended the Integral Counseling Program, an innovative master's program which he pioneered. Dr. Valloor served as a scholar in residence at Marquette University in 1999 and as a visiting scholar for several years at the University of Notre Dame. Dr. Valloor has undergone training and certification in a variety of therapeutic modalities and interventions, as well as extensive training in Eastern spirituality. With his nearly lifelong practice of yoga and 40 years of mindfulness practice, he continues to explore the relationship between psychotherapy and spirituality. Currently residing in Dublin, Ireland, Dr. Valloor is the director of the institute that bears his name, where he provides group and individual psychological services, as well as workshops and retreats for various organizations, including Vistage International and PricewaterhouseCoopers. He and his wife Liz work together to bring awareness and mindfulness training to children and families. She has recently published her first book, Taking Flight, The Caged Bird. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a warm welcome for our keynote speaker and SOPP alum, Dr. Francis Valloor.
Good afternoon, President Schrader, Dean Winfrey, members of the Board of Trustees, and SOPP faculty, distinguished guests, community leaders, and most importantly, the graduates of the class of 2017, and their families, friends, and supporters. I'm pleased and honored to be invited to speak on this momentous occasion. It is said that the longest journey that we shall ever make is the one that we make from our heads to our hearts. I should know, because I have been a slow traveler myself. I feel like an explorer who, after embarking on a journey of discovery, returns after 27 years with a message for you and an invitation. I recall a cartoon in Punch magazine many years ago, where a priest, after blessing the wedding of a young couple, took them aside and gave them this essential piece of advice. If you have any problems in your married life, I mean any problem at all, just come to me. I may be a celibate, but I have done a lot of reading. That was me. By temperament and by sheer habit, my mind was my permanent abode. Besides, most of my life, I was also a member of the Jesuit order, where intellectual pursuits and serious academic and professional training were greatly valued. That included the year studying psychology here. And maintaining my tendency to take everything very seriously, I used to return most summers to study more and train more in this country. For someone flying up there, the parachute opened only a few years ago. Gradually, I learned through awareness that change never comes from the mind. It comes from the heart and soul. If we are to be happy and free in our lives, the mind has to follow the heart's lead. The mind, of course, is an essential part of what makes us human and necessary for our daily living. We need our minds for our learning, our communication, our science, technology, nearly every aspect of life. But the mind is also the source of all our problems. Our conflicts and troubles, intrapersonal, interpersonal, international, they all originate in our minds. All of them happen twice. First in our minds, then outside. Indeed, the world we inhabit is a creation of our minds. But the mind that creates the problems cannot solve them. We consider psychology as a science of the mind. We conceptualize our problems. We define and diagnose. We make our treatment plans and we work towards their solutions. Created by the mind, our solutions remain at the mind level. None of this leads to a fundamental change, a real transformation. Of course we change, we feel better. We live more adjusted lives, don't we? But fundamentally, the change that we bring about is based on a conflict between me and myself. This part of me that wants to change, another part of me that may be angry or sad, depressed, anxious, and so on. Changes brought about through efforts are violent changes. So pitting me against myself, a civil war ensues, even if it's for a therapeutic or a spiritual cause. All our war efforts contribute to the perpetuation of the conflict, whereas profound changes happen effortlessly. No wonder, the more we try to change, the more we remain the same. I started my own psychotherapy at age 21. I had great therapists. Therapy certainly helped me, but did not change me deeply enough. It kept the trees and plants nicely trimmed, but did not uproot any of them. At the same age, I also started serious mindfulness practice. Sometimes those meditations would go on for many hours a day, up to 10, 12 hours. It helped to calm my mind. It helped me feel better. But did it change me deeply? No, it did not. Mindfulness is a meditation, a spiritual practice. That's something we do. And we do it for a purpose. Relaxation, peacefulness, stress reduction, even enlightenment. Practicing for a purpose, however, conveys an instrumentality, the means we employ to attain, acquire, achieve something. Of course, it's a valid thing to do. But there is an effort and certain degree of will and there's someone who is doing all that practicing. In all those years of practice, I couldn't help looking down on those lesser mortals who did not meditate as much as I did. Even there, my ego remained pretty strong. Mindfulness is partial. It is helpful, it is necessary sometimes, but limited in what it can give you because it's incomplete. We need something more to complete it. In recent years, psychologists have found great benefits in using mindfulness. Employing it as a mere tool or a technique, there is every danger that this too will become one of the many fads that gets abandoned in time. After 43 years of practice and seeing its limits, I am suggesting that it is time for us to go beyond mindfulness. And we psychologists perhaps could lead the way. What helped me was awareness. Awareness is a state of consciousness which you cannot practice. It is not something you can achieve by efforts but something you can only experience. You cannot bring it about by striving and struggling for it. You can only receive it. If mindfulness involves will and practice, awareness involves willingness and receptivity. If mindfulness is looking, awareness is seeing. Mindfulness is partial. It is beneficial, it is necessary if it is complete with another essential aspect that is usually not associated with mindfulness practice. That is heartfulness or love. When mindfulness meets love, we have awareness. We are passing through a great crisis at this time in human history. It is not a crisis of politics, of diplomacy, of economy, environment, terrorism, and all those other problems we can think of. These are only symptoms and consequences of a crisis affecting humanity. It is human consciousness that is in crisis. Wars and conflicts and natural calamities have always been there, but these are now happening at a different level, at different dimensions, and the stakes are far higher too. The remedies we have applied are limited and superficial and temporary. Our mind-based solutions may be clever, but they come unstuck quickly. Nations are back at war soon after making peace, as are the couple who sorted all their problems in therapy back at the brink of divorce. All too often, our solutions have also made the problems worse. There is only one way we are going to heal our conflicts and divisions. We have to experience a profound transformation as individuals and as humanity. We have to return to the heart. We have to walk the path with a heart. What does that mean? That means we begin to see with our hearts. Imagine looking at yourself for a moment without any judgment. Imagine looking at everybody that way, with no judgments. The view from the heart sees all things as one. There is no separation between them and me. I am the victim, and I am the perpetrator. I am the tyrant, and I am the subject. I am the Syrian refugee, and I am the terrorist. The mind sees differences, but the heart sees wholeness and harmony. What the mind sees as many, the heart sees as one. If we look at people with our hearts, we no longer see Russians and Chinese and Indians or Mexicans, nor Muslims and Hindus and Christians. The heart has no labels. There are no conflicts and divisions between them and me. As Chuangzi, the Chinese sage, wrote in the 4th century BC, when the heart is right, for and against are forgotten. The mind creates chasms, but the heart knows how to bridge them. That is the way of the heart. The inspiring motto of our school, preparing tomorrow's psychologists for a diverse world, is most appropriate here. From its very inception, SOPP has valued and supported that ideal, and your class with its amazing diversity is an emphatic testament to that commitment. The mind sees differences, creates divisions, discord, and discriminations. When the heart sees the oneness of all, diversity, in fact, heals, unites, and enriches. The Broadway version of the great Indian epic Mahabharata ended with this memorable line. If you love your children more than the children of other people, know that war is near. There is so much fear, confusion, and hatred in the world. We tend to be trained on yesterday's remedies, which are of limited value today. That is like flying an aircraft today using a weather chart that worked very well a few years ago. Our role as psychologists is to heal, to comfort, to awaken the hearts of people facing today's problems. So what should we do? More appropriately, how should we be? The first step is our own transformation. We have to wake up before we can wake up anyone else. Our own hearts have to be open before we can touch another's. For us, psychology, I hope, is a calling more than a career, a passion more than a profession. It will be so if we work from our hearts. For at the heart of all transformation is the transformation of the heart. An engineer or a scientist offers their knowledge and expertise. We have to be what we profess to be. We are what we offer to the world. Many years ago, on a visit to Bombay, I was at the home of a scholar friend. A friend of his arrived, and with him were some bottles of hair growth lotion. I got a couple of them too. When I returned to Dublin, my wife Liz asked her hope-filled husband, "Tell me this, did that man have a full head of hair?" I said quite innocently, "No, his head was as bald as a coot." She burst out laughing. She still teases me about it. Lesson learned, never buy hair growth lotion from a bald-headed man. Our skills are invaluable. What an impressive range of skills and experiences your class already has. Our knowledge of psychology is essential, but they will work miracle for us only when the heart is awake. This is not reducible to a 9-to-5 professional therapeutic stance or a detached empathy. It's a profound transformation involving the whole of you, always, and in all places. You will see miracles as people change because you have changed and because you love them, because you see no difference between them and you. You will realize that your client is not this person sitting in front of you. It is the world, because you will soon see that your heart has become as big as the world if you let it. SOPP can bring you only this far. No university can give this as part of its curriculum. There is no app for it. This has to be for you a journey of personal transformation. So today, it doesn't end, it only begins. There is this inevitable question: what should we do to get there? There is nothing to be done, because nothing can be done. There is nothing to be practiced. But there are perhaps two simple steps. First, there is an understanding of the awakening heart. Second, there is an openness or a desire for this transformation. At this time of great confusion, fear, and suffering in the world, a powerful force of love is also sweeping the world. It is vital for us psychologists to join this, to be a part of this. You have to be a point of light, a focus of awareness in this world. Face the world with your hearts, especially if your heart sometimes weeps for the world. A great guru once asked his students how they could tell when night had ended and day had begun, because daybreak is the time for certain prayers and rituals. Is it when you can see an animal in the distance and make out if it's a cow or a buffalo? One of the pupils asked. No, said the guru. Is it when you can see someone in the distance and tell if it's a man or a woman? Another one asked. Again, the answer was no. Is it when you can look at the palm of your hand and see the lines clearly? To this too, the guru said no. And the guru continued, when you can look at the face of any man or woman, it is not your eyes, but your heart that sees. When you see not another person, but a reflection of your own heart, then it is dawn. Until then, it is still night. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Valloor, for making the time and traveling from Ireland to speak to us today. We're very honored and grateful for those profound words about being a light in the world and creating awareness.